Welcome to our show. It's about unveiling the intricacies of Plasmodium, a journey into the world of malaria parasite. Our cast and the crew will be covering about geographical distribution, habitat, morphological structure, life cycle, epidemiology, pathogenicity, treatment and prophylaxis, economic importance, and the measures of parasite control. Stay tuned to see our acting and puppet show.
Scene 1.
Lecture with Miss Kinley.
Good morning, class. Today we will be learning about the parasite of genus Plasmodium. Plasmodium are the protozoan which invade and multiply within the erythrocytes of vertebrates and are transmitted by the mosquitoes. To talk about the classification of the Plasmodium, they fall under the phylum Apicocomplexa, class Echonoidacida, order Hemerospororita, family Plasmodidae, genus Plasmodium, and some species include Falciparum, Malariae, Vivax, and etc. Since I provided some information about Plasmodium, I urge all of you to do detailed research about Plasmodium. That's all for today. Thank you for your attention.
After hearing the lecture, I wanted to do more research on Plasmodium.
Malaria is an infection that can be caused by a few different types of Plasmodium species, which are single-celled parasites that get spread around by mosquitoes. Once the Plasmodium gets into the bloodstream, it starts to infect and destroy mainly liver cells and red blood cells, which causes a variety of symptoms and sometimes even death. Malaria is a serious global health problem that affects millions of people, particularly young children under the age of 5, pregnant women, patients with other health conditions like HIV and AIDS, and travelers who've had no prior exposure to malaria. Tropical and subtropical regions are hit the hardest. Together, the most affected regions form the malaria belt, which is a broad band around the equator that includes much of Latin America, Sub-Saharan Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. There are hundreds of types of Plasmodium species, but only 5 cause malarial disease in humans, and those are Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium ovale, and Plasmodium nilesi. Plasmodium vivax uses a specific erythrocyte surface receptor called the Duffy antigen. And some individuals, particularly those with sickle cell anemia, lack this receptor, meaning that Plasmodium vivax can't get into their cells. In other words, having sickle cell anemia is genetically related to having relative protection from Plasmodium vivax. Other diseases like thalassemia and G6PD deficiency make the parasite-infected erythrocyte more susceptible to dying from oxidative stress. So despite the obvious downside to having any of these diseases, they do offer an upside when it comes to warding off a malaria infection. In fact, because malaria has historically circulated in Africa, the genes underlying these diseases are thought to have conferred a natural selection advantage, and therefore become more common in the genetic pool. Scene 2.
Back at the hostel, my friend asked me a question.
Wait, let's see. You know what causes malaria?
And I told him I just learned about it and explained this to him.
Malaria is transmitted among humans through the bite of an infected female and Anopheles mosquitoes. The process starts when an infected insect lands on its victim and pierces the skin with its proboscis along a straw-like extension with a pointed end. As she feeds, Plasmodium sporozoites contracted from other humans or in rare cases from animals are transmitted from her body directly into the bloodstream of the victim.
Then during tea, he asked me this.
And how do you know that we are infected with malaria?
Then I told him.
It causes flu-like symptoms like chills, fever, sweating, headache, nausea, aches and pains all over the body. Not only that, if malaria affects the brain, it might cause seizures or loss of consciousness, and in some cases, even death.
At the breakfast, he wanted to know about the cure.
If I get malaria, is there a way to diagnose it?
Yes, to cure it naturally, you can take some leaves of the neems, papaya leaves, some lemons, some gingers, scent leaves, guava leaves, bitter cola, then boil them together and drink it twice a day for a week to cure it, or you can treat it with the modern medicine. The types of drugs and length of treatment of modern medication will depend upon which type of malarial parasite you have, the severity of your symptoms, your age, or whether you are pregnant. Most common anti-malarial drug includes chloroquine, quinine sulfate, hydroxychloroquine, mefloquine, combinations of atavaquine and proguanil.
Now he was in deep thoughts.
Whoa, malaria seems very fatal. How do I prevent it?
Then I called my friend to help me out.
Sleeping under mosquito nets can significantly reduce the risk of mosquito bites during sleep. Mosquito nets are a cost-effective and sustainable tool for malaria prevention, particularly in areas with high malaria transmission. Clearing bushes removes hiding spots for mosquitoes and reduces the ability of resting places. Dense bushes and vegetation provides shelter and breeding sites for mosquitoes, increasing the risk of malaria transmission. Clearing bushes is a proactive approach to malaria prevention, reducing mosquito habitats and minimizing the risk of malaria transmission. Malaria, a deadly disease transmitted by infected mosquitoes, can be prevented by eliminating mosquitoes' breeding sites and maintaining clean surroundings. Maintaining cleanliness helps create an environment that is less hospitable to mosquitoes and reduces the risk of malaria transmission. Stagnant water serves as a breeding ground for mosquitoes, including those that carry the malaria parasite. Draining stagnant water removes the habitat where mosquitoes lay their eggs, effectively reducing mosquitoes' populations. Draining stagnant water is a proactive and cost-effective approach to malaria prevention.
Scene 3.
Finally, I invited him to watch puppet show on life cycle of Plasmodium.
Welcome everyone to this magical puppet show adventure. We'll present you the life cycle of Plasmodium. Everyone, give a round of applause. Here they go. Our story begins with a hungry female Anopheles mosquito searching for a blood meal. I must find a human to feed on. The mosquito bites a human, injecting Plasmodium parasites into the bloodstream. Ouch! Go away, you little mosquito! Delicious! Inside the human body, the Plasmodium parasites travel to the liver, where they multiply and mature. Where is the liver? Oh, it's here. Go away, you parasite! I don't want you to reside within me. We are growing stronger. Ha 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 ha. The parasites then invade the red blood cells, causing symptoms of malaria. I'm a Plasmodium, a fascinating parasite. I'm looking for a place to hide and multiply. Oh no! You can't do that here. You'll make me sick.
Oh, sorry. It's not up to you. It's my wish to enter you, and I'm stronger than you.
The Plasmodium enters red blood cell.
Let's reproduce and spread.
Sure. What's going on here? I heard there was a party, but I don't see any food and drinks.
Oh, mosquito! I need your help! I need to get out of this body and find a new host. Can you help me?
Sure thing, Plasmodium. I will bite this human and suck out some blood. You can hitch a ride in my saliva. When the infected mosquito bites another human, it transmits the parasites, continuing the cycle. And so, the life cycle of Plasmodium continues, causing illness and spreading through the mosquito bites.
So remember to protect yourself from mosquito bites to prevent malaria.
This is end of our puppet show. I hope everyone got some idea about the life cycle of Plasmodium. Everyone, thank you for your great audience.
Scene 4.
Then I showed him how Plasmodium looks under the microscope.
Morphological characteristics of Plasmodium. Plasmodium have different developmental stages. The first one is the sporozoid, which is a sexual form introduced into human skin by the bite of Anopheles mosquitoes via its proboscis. It has a narrow shape and is slightly curved organisms and has tapers at the bone ends. It is 12 micrometers in length. Its nucleus is central and elongated. It do not have any pigment and it shows undulatory movement. The second stage is the dissociation stage. It is a sexual form which grows and multiplies in the parenchymal cells of the liver. Different Plasmodium species has different morphology of dissociations. For example, in Plasmodium vivax, it is round and about 42 micrometers in diameter. The nucleus is divided into fragments surrounded by a very little cytoplasmic form. This forms around 1200 merozoites in number. In Plasmodium oval, it is about 75 micrometers in length and about 45 micrometers in breadth. It forms about 15,000 merozoites. In Plasmodium malaria, it is round in shape and about 22 micrometers in size, and they forms about 2,000 merozoites in number. In Plasmodium falciparum, it is oval in shape and are about 60 to 30 micrometers in size. They form about 40,000 merozoites in number. The next stage is the tissue merozoites. It is a sexual form which is liberated after the rupture of mature dissociations. It is round in shape and have nucleus enclosed in a little cytoplasm and is about 0.7 to 1.8 micrometers in size. The fourth stage is the trophozoites. It is a sexual and growing form of the parasite in the human blood. There are two types of trophozoites, small trophozoites and large trophozoites. The next stage is the blood seasons. It is a sexual form and are involved in a sexual multiplication process of the Plasmodium that occurs in the human blood. The next stage is the blood merozoid. It is a sexual form being the byproducts of the division by schizogamy. It is round in shape and the nucleus are enclosed in the little cytoplasm and are around 0.52 to 5 micrometers in diameter. The last stage is the gametocytes. It is sexual form of the Plasmodium. Male or microgametocytes has pale blue cytoplasm and large diffuse nucleus. Female or microgametocytes has dark blue cytoplasm and a small complex nucleus.
Scene 5.
I will share you some information about the epidemiology of Plasmodium through the following subtopics. The first subtopic is about the global distribution of Plasmodium. Plasmodium is endemic in tropical and subtropical regions around the world, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa, Southeast Asia, and parts of South America. The distribution of malaria is influenced by the factors such as temperature, humidity, rainfall, and the presence of suitable mosquito vectors. The second subtopic is about the seasonality. Malaria transmission often peaks during the rainy season when mosquito breeding sites proliferate. However, in some regions, malaria transmission may not occur year-round. The last subtopic is about the disease burden. Malaria is a significant public health concern causing millions of cases and hundreds of thousands of deaths annually, predominantly in sub-Saharan Africa. The burden of malaria extends beyond the morbidity and mortality, affecting the economic productivity, healthcare system, and overall social well-being in the endemic regions.
Scene 6.
Now let me take you all through the economic effects of malaria parasite. The primary treatment for malaria and other Plasmodium infection involves anti-malaria drugs. Severe cases of malaria or complications from Plasmodium infections may require hospitalization, intensive care, or specialist treatment. all of which contribute to healthcare expenditure. Workers who are absent due to illness are unable to contribute to economic activities, resulting in reduced output and income for themselves and their employees. In endemic regions, the prevalence of Plasmodium infections can lead to a decreased overall workforce participation rate. This is particularly true for working-age elders who are most affected by malaria. Employers may experience disruption in their operation due to reduced workforce, leading to delays in production, decreased efficiency, and increased costs associated with hiring temporary replacement or overtime wages. Agriculture is a significant sector in many malaria endemic regions, and the Plasmodium infection can directly affect agriculture productivity. Farmers who become ill with malaria are unable to tend to their crops or livestock, leading to reduced yields and income. This can have ripple effects throughout the agriculture value chain, affecting food security, rural livelihoods, and economic development. Malaria can directly impact agriculture productivity by affecting the health and the labor force of farmers. The illness can lead to absenteeism, where farmers are unable to tend to their crops or livestock, resulting in reduced yields and harvest. This directly affects agriculture output and income for farmers and their communities. Malaria can indirectly affect crop yields by disrupting farmers' activities. Regions with high malaria prevalence rates may experience decreased tourist arrival as travelers perceive these areas as high-risk destinations. Concerns about malaria transmission can deter potential tourists from visiting affected regions, leading to a decline in tourism revenues and economic activity. Malaria endemic areas may suffer from negative perceptions and image issues, which can tarnish their reputation as tourist destinations. Malaria can lead to increased absenteeism among students as their infected may experience symptoms such as fever, fatigue, and body aches, making it difficult for them to attend school regularly. Frequent absence due to malaria can disrupt the learning process, leading to gaps in knowledge and academic achievement among affected students. Students who miss school due to malaria may struggle to keep up with their studies and may fall behind their peers academically.
Scene 7.
To do a detailed summary, we have seen that malaria is a life-threatening disease, typically transmitted by an infected Anopheles mosquitoes. The infected mosquito carries the Plasmodium parasite. When this mosquito bites you, the parasite is released into your bloodstream. Causes: malaria can occur if a mosquito infected with the Plasmodium parasite bites you. There are 4 kinds of malaria parasites that can infect humans: Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium malariae, and Plasmodium falciparum. Plasmodium falciparum causes more severe form of disease, and those who contract this form of malaria have a high risk of death. An infected mother can also pass the disease to her baby at birth. This is known as congenital malaria. Malaria is transmitted by blood, so it can also be transmitted through an organ transplant, a transfusion, or use of shared needles. Signs and symptoms. A malarial infection is generally characterized by recurrent attacks with the following signs and symptoms: moderate to severe shaking, chills, high fever, sweating. Other signs and symptoms may include headache, vomiting, diarrhea. Malaria's signs and symptoms typically begin with a few weeks after being bitten by an infected mosquitoes. However, some types of malaria can lie dormant in your body for up to a year. Diagnosis: blood tests can show the presence of the parasite and help tailor treatment by determining whether you have malaria, which type of malaria parasite is causing your symptoms, if your infection is causing caused by a parasite resistant to certain drugs, whether the disease is affecting any of your vital organs. Some blood tests can take several days to complete, while others can produce a result in less than 15 minutes. Treatment. The types of drugs and length of treatment will depend upon which type of malarial parasite you have, the severity of your symptoms, your age, or whether you are pregnant. Most common anti-malarial drug includes chloroquine, quinine sulfate, hydroxychloroquine, mefloquine, combination of atovaquone and proquinil. The history of the anti-malarial medicine has been marked by a constant struggle between evolving drug-resistant parasites and the search for new drug formulations. In many parts of the world, resistance to chloroquine has rendered the
Thank you.